Mabel's Closet. Today's video is another in my series of cosy winter vlogs, and lots of things going on behind the scenes, a little bit of sewing, a little bit of my life in general, and I thought I would share it with you. Grab a coffee and I'll see you in a minute. So hi, welcome back, and before I continue, if you haven't already subscribed, you've just found my channel, I would absolutely love it if you could click the subscribe button. Also like the video, because it does mean an awful lot to me if you've enjoyed my videos. So yeah, I would love it if you joined along with me on my dressmaking journey, because it seriously is a journey. Yeah, so here I am, it's Wednesday. And the vlog should have been going up today, but I'm a little bit behind. I don't know whether you follow me over on Instagram, but my gorgeous husband, my precious husband John, has had another fall, a serious fall 2 nights ago. Hit his head, the back of his head. He's had a lot of falls. He has a lot of falls. He's absolutely covered in bruises all over, God love him. And seriously, we joke saying that if he ever had to go into hospital, I'd be getting CSI crime scene investigation round, because just take one look at his body, all the bruises that he's got, and think, right, we're going to investigate his wife, what's she been doing to him. Seriously, we always joke about that, but unfortunately he had a really bad fall. All the falls John's had have been awful, but I've managed, he's been all right, if you know what I mean. He's obviously maybe cut his head, black eye, bruises, a little bit of blood here and there, but he's always been all right. I've managed to get him up, I've managed to get him sorted, and if I needed to seek medical advice, I have done, but 9 times out of 10 it's just another fall. But this fall 2 nights ago was a proper full-on whack his head, back of his head fall, and he was unconscious. It was absolutely, I don't know how I don't know how I'm not crying. Seriously, proper. I've never seen him like this before. His eyes were wide open. Sorry, I don't want this vlog to be doom and gloom and depressing, and don't you all to like switch off, but I know you like to know what happened, you know, I know you like to know what's going on in my life outside of sewing. And he was just staring at the ceiling, totally out of it, and I just rang 999. Luckily my mum and dad are literally 2 doors down. I wasn't going to ring my son, who was at work. He was on nights, because I knew he would come in the car and drive at 500 miles an hour and end up crashing the car. I didn't want to ring my daughter because she's got 2 young children, and she would have obviously drag them out of bed and come in the night. I didn't want to do any of that. My other son, he's got a young child. I didn't want to, you know, unless I had to, I didn't want to ring any of them. God love my mum and dad. My mum's 78, my dad's 88. God love them both. They're both trundled up in the dark, in the frost, in the pyjamas and the dressing gowns, and they stood with me until the paramedics came and what have you. Anyway, long story short, I had to take John in. He was really banged his head, all bleeding and what have you. And because he's on warfarin, any bangs to the head, if you're on warfarin, it's like a blood thinning medication, you have to go to hospital, and just in case there's a bleed. And sure enough, when they took him, and the doctor rang me about 20 to 6 in the morning, she said he's had a head scan and there was bleeding to the brain. Well, I was like, oh my God. But they said it's stopped, they've took him off his warfarin, and they're just monitoring him. So he's still in hospital. It's absolutely awful because I can't go and see him. I went and took some of his stuff yesterday. They allowed me to take his bag, overnight bag, and his bits and bobs. He's absolutely useless with his mobile phone. I've took the pin off because his phone had like a pin, so you had to put the 4-digit pin in before you could even answer it, and he could never remember the pin. Last time he was in hospital, the nurses rang me and said, what's his pin, because he can't answer the phone. I thought, oh, just take the pin off. No one's going to pinch John's phone because it's a rubbish basic Samsung phone. And I thought, well, you know, so I've took the pin off, I topped it up, fully charged it, so it's raring to go. I explained it all to the nurse, blah, blah, blah. She let me wave to him through like the perspex screen, so I could wave to him, and he was okay, he was fine. And I was saying, you know, phone, don't forget, I'm going to ring you, answer the phone, there's no pin. And he was going, well, I knew he really wasn't understanding what I was saying, and I've rang him and rang him and rang him. will he hell answer that phone? So I have to wait till the doctors have done their rounds in half an hour, and then I'll ring the ward and see if they can get him to answer the phone. Useless with that phone. But fingers crossed, he doesn't need any surgery to relieve any pressure, and he's going to be all right. So that was absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah. But fingers crossed he's going to be all right. And then this morning, my cat, I have 4 cats, you probably know. I have 4 cats, and they are my absolute world. I'm a crazy cat lady. I don't mind admitting it. They're my absolute world. I will give up my chair and sit on the floor for my cat to have the chair. I know, I'm crazy. I get up and feed them in the night, every night, 3, 4, 5 times sometimes in the night. I do anything they want. Anything they want, they get. They have the best, finest grain cat clumping litter. There's 4 cat litter trays. They have 1 each if they need it. I have 18 cat balls, so there's always a clean cat ball. Oh, they're just totally and utterly spoiled. They have secret camps. They're like a little secret camp. So there's little secret camps all over my room. They're just totally spoiled. And Geordie, he's like my 2 boys. He's my little shadow. He is everywhere I go, and he always sleeps at the side of me in the bed. Me and John laugh because we get into bed. We've got a king-size bed. We get into bed at night. He always gets in first. He's not daft. He gets into bed first on my side. He has, say, 3 foot or languishing out. John has his bit, and I have literally, not joking, about 5 inches because I like lie on my side. Anyway, so obviously I've got the whole bed to myself at the minute while John's in hospital, and Geordie was fast asleep next to me this morning. My alarm went off on my phone, so I just leant across Geordie to turn the alarm off on my phone. And Geordie, I don't know, I'm just guessing this was absolutely awful. I leant over him, and I don't know whether he was in such a deep sleep that when I leant over him, I startled him. I don't know, I'm just guessing. So the next thing, he jumped off the bed, and I could hear this scratching like as if he was fighting with Toffee, because he's always having a little scrat about with Toffee because he gets jealous if Toffee, my other cat, comes on the bed on the morning and says hello to me. George doesn't like that, so he gives him a left hook. But then I thought, well, Toffee wasn't there, so I just sat up in bed, and sure enough, my gorgeous Geordie boy was having some sort of seizure in the corner of my bedroom. Oh my God. So I got out of bed and I just stood and looked, and he was having, all I can say, it was a seizure. So I picked him up, I just held him in my arm. At first I thought he died, it was absolutely awful, but he was breathing, but really slowly, and his eyes were all glazed over, and I just held him like a baby in bed until he eventually came round. And it took him a while, and then he was really spooked, and he still is a little bit spooked now. He's had something to eat, he's had a little lick of butter, he likes a lick of butter, and he's followed me about, and he's purring, and he's been to the toilet, and he seems all right, but he's still a little bit spooked. So he's in my bedroom by the radiator, because the radiator's on. And that absolutely, I've got flashbacks now. So I've got flashbacks of John hitting his head and being unconscious in the corner of the lounge with blood coming out of his head. And I've got flashbacks of my gorgeous cat having some sort of, I don't know, seizure, fit. And I'm only assuming it's because I'm possibly startled him from a deep sleep and made him jump, and then it's made him, I don't know, I'm just fingers crossed that's all it was. Obviously I'm going to keep an eye on it. If it happens again, I will be on to the vets, but I'm hoping that's the reason. So that was absolutely awful this morning. So I've got these 2 flashbacks. And the third thing, if you're still watching me and you haven't all gone off totally depressed, the third, well, not all, I'm laughing. The third thing is my mum's best friend has just passed away with COVID last night. So it's just awful, isn't it? It's just absolutely awful. And I was just saying to my mum this morning, this COVID pandemic is just, we're all going to end up going to be depressed, aren't we? Because it's just absolutely sucking the life out of, literally sucking the life out of everybody. We in the United Kingdom now surpassed over 100,000 deaths, and it just gives me shivers. And now my mum's friend sadly died of it. it just totally brings it into reality. It just brings it into reality. I mean, I know how precious life is with John, because I know he's not well, and I know how precious every day is, and it just makes you even think even more how precious our lives are, how delicate our lives are, and it just one day can change from the next. Literally, the whole of your world can just change for good or for bad, and just shows you how easily we can be tipped either way. And it's just like, oh, and obviously I'm on my own in the house, and I'm just like, it's hard to explain. I'm just like, I just look at my cats, because only me and the cats at the minute. I just looking at my cats, thinking I just absolutely love them to bits, love my world, and love my family, and love it. Just brings it all really into reality. And I've been sewing. I did some sewing. I have to do something, because if I don't, I'll just end up standing and staring out the window, or going into a little bit of a depression type of thing. I can quite easy go down that way if I don't keep control of myself, if you know what I mean. So I have been sewing. This is what I've been sewing. This is one of the things I've been sewing. If you remember my last vlog, I'm trying to lighten it up a bit now. I hope I'm not too doom and gloomy. But my last vlog, where I showed you my 6 blouses in 6 days, all those Minerva makes, and I had 16 of them to make, and I've still got a few left to do, and that is totally stressing me out, because they're looming over me, and obviously Minerva need me to make them so I can upload them on the blogs before the fabrics end up being out of stock, which will defeat the whole object of me getting their fabrics, making something, listing it on their website, but they haven't got the fabric in. So that's gonna, so they're saying, can you hurry up? Which I am hurrying up. So this is one of them, and I've just used my poppy pinafore pattern to make another pinafore. This is like I don't even think I'm looking at it on the screen. It's a pale blue, and it's got a fine check. I've got a little bit of scrap here, so I'll try and show you a better picture if you can see. So it's like a pale baby blue and white check, and it's another brushed cotton. It's really soft, and it's lovely. But I don't really think it's a colour for me. I'm not sure even if it's on my colour wheel. I'll have to double check. And I've just paired it with one of my roll neck skinny tops and my raggy brooch, and I've put some dark buttons on. I'll show you the buttons at the back. I just put some dark wooden buttons on, just to give it a little bit of life to it, because I think it's a little bit pale for me. I don't think it's one of my best colours, let's say. I think it's a little bit on the pale side for me, but it's ideal. I've just made it ideal for round the house. Perfect. It's got pockets in, obviously, and it's brushed cotton, so it's cosy, and it's ideal for wearing around the house. But I don't think it's going to be something I'm going to wear out and about if I'm going, well, not that anybody's going anywhere, but hopefully down the line when you can go out and about. I don't think it's something, do you know what I mean? Because I just don't think it's my colour scheme. But there's another blog post ready. I've took some photographs in the garden. I'm just keeping going while John's in hospital, and I know Geordie's, fingers crossed, all right. I'm just keeping going. I'm just trying to do all the usual things that I normally do, just to keep myself in the same routine. Because if I don't keep in my routine, I don't cope very well. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm a Virgo, and I like things to be just so, and I like to know what I'm doing, and I like to just follow what I like to do every day, a little routine. And if that routine goes out of pot, yeah, it make me feel a little bit, not stressed, but a little bit withdrawn, maybe, if that's the right type of expression. A little bit, I like withdrawing myself in my head, and then it takes me a while to get back in the groove type of thing. So I'm doing all the things I would normally do. What if John was sat reading the paper now, he'd be in the lounge reading the paper now. I'm just pottering on, doing all those things as if he's still there. Hopefully he'll be home in a few days' time, hopefully. So I'm just carrying on. So hence doing my sewing. And obviously last night, I'm not a great one for watching TV unless there's anything really good on. So last night I cut out another Oak Ridge blouse. show you the pattern. This is going to be my 4th one. I absolutely love this pattern. It's so easy to do, and I thought what I might do is for all of you that would love to have a go at making like this type of shirt, fitted blouse, but you think a little bit intimidated by maybe the bow tie or even the cuffs or the button band. I thought I might make another one and do maybe a little bit of a sew along tutorial on how to sew this up, because it really is super simple. So I'm going to put that on my to-do list, maybe share it with you and help you along if you wanted to make something like this. So I've cut it out, and again this is another Minerva, because I'm wading through this pile. Again, this is a gorgeous print actually. This is more my colour. This is another brushed cotton in these gorgeous little ditzy pink, cerise pink, pale pink, dusky rose pink, a little bit of grey and a little bit of like limey green. So hopefully you can get a good picture of that. So I thought I'll try it in the brushed cotton. So I've got it all cut out. Where is it? I've got it all cut out, so I'm going to make that up this morning. So that's another one of Minerva. I've got another of Minerva, which is so not me. This is, I tell you what, this has taught me a lesson to stop being fabric greedy, because fabric. And if I see fabric, then, and there's a list of fabrics to choose from. If somebody sends me a list and saying, help yourself to whatever you want, well, you know, that's like a child looking in a candy shop, isn't it? So back then, when I was still wanting everything and doing everything and wanting all the shiny sewing things, back maybe last year, when I was like, you know, in a different frame of mind, I was like, yes, there's a fabric list. I'll have that one. I'll have that one. I'll have that one. Not even thinking, is it your colour? Is it your style? Is it something you're going to wear? Do you even like it? What's the drape on it? What's the composition on it? Do you know all those things? What pattern would you make with it? Well, I didn't think of any of those things. I just saw a list of fabrics and said to Vicky at Minerva, oh, can I have that one? Can I have that one? Can I have that one? And sure enough, she'd send me them. And a lesson learned, I will never do that again. The lists have been out a few times now, and I've refrained from getting anything off the list, because obviously I don't think she would have given me any anyway, because I had 16 to do. But even if I could have chose something on these lists, I haven't, because I've reined myself in, shall we say. So there's no way I can attempt to get any more fabrics from Minerva at the moment, and when I've got through this pile, I will then be very choosy for the list. And as I said before in a previous post, I'm maybe just going to go every quarter and maybe have a browse, and maybe if there's one thing that I could make something that I would wear, or, you know, then select it. But this is another lesson learned. Don't be fabric greedy. Think about what you're doing. You know, think of the fabric. Do you really want it? All of those things. Think it through, which is, you know, it's all a learning curve, isn't it? I mean, I'm not annoyed with myself. I'm annoyed with myself now because I've got in this position that I've now got to make all these flipping things. So I'll show you this one, and you'll go, oh no, Jayne. Because even I go, oh no, Jayne, it is so not me. But my daughter's going to have it, so I'm going to make it for her. It's a crushed, it's not crushed velvet, but it's like a shiny velvet-esque stretch fabric in this Bordeaux wine colour, and it's got cutouts. So it's like a cutout fabric. I don't know what I was thinking, but anyway, I'll show you. It's like a cutout. I mean, can you see me wearing that? But it is quite pretty, but it's just not me. But my daughter, who's 31, would absolutely love this. So I'm going to make her a Somerset, the Somerset tee, which I've made quite a few of. Absolutely love. There it is there. The Somerset tee by Maven Patterns. And I think it'd be absolutely perfect for my daughter, because she's always wearing like black vests and things, because I think you're going to need to wear like a vest or something underneath, because it's quite holey. So there is all the options of the sleeves, and I've just got to double check which sleeve option she would like, because I'm not sure whether she would like the deep cuff one that I like. She might just want the plain, I'm not sure, but I can see my daughter wearing this top. So I'm going to make it for my daughter Sophie, and so that is another one. So that shouldn't take me too long to make. And then I've got this again, which is again like a brushed cotton, which is really nice. This is me, and it's going to be made into, I think, possibly, well, I was going to do a hinterland, but I've got quite a few pinafores now with like making my own poppy one. So I might do my primrose dress. I'll pop a picture up of that dress. It's the fitted one with a ruffle neck and the ruffle on the sleeves. So I might do that dress, but widen the bodice so it's more looser fitting, like my pinafore that I've got on, and make it into like a dress, zip up the back and what have you, and some sleeves, but more of a loose fitting dress with this because I've got quite a bit of fabric. So that is probably what I'm going to do with that, rather than make it into another pinafore. Put some sleeves on and make it more a dress, but shorter sleeves, so then I can still layer with long sleeve tees. So I've got that one to make, and I've got two left, which, cats, you don't wear black in this house. What have I got? Black. I've got black, and I've got bottle green, which is marginally better, but even now they've folded up and they've both got the odd cat hair on. They're both a twill, I believe, a cotton twill. I don't even know why. I seriously cannot even remember why I would choose these fabrics, because black, you don't wear black in my house. I don't wear black. If I'm going to wear black, I would wear it as I'm leaving the house. There's no way, because you just get covered in cat hair. I've got 4 cats, so cat hair and black, you know, magnet. So these are both going to be earmarked for Pomona pants, or is it the Lander pants? True Bias, is it the Lander pants? And that'll teach me a lesson. But no more being fabric greedy, and I haven't bought any fabric for absolutely ages actually, so I'm doing quite well. Well, there's no way I can buy any fabric because I have got a ton of fabric, and that's my mission. Get through this fabric, get through some of this ridiculously large amount of fabric that is just lurking on my shelf, staring at me every day. I'm almost through with all the Minervas, and as I say, lesson learned, I won't do that again. But yeah, so a little bit of sewing for me this afternoon, and then obviously I'm way behind. I don't know what I was thinking. Yet again, that's me. Way behind on my poppy pinafore, the pattern. I'm on it. I'm getting through it, but because of John, all the things going on here at headquarters, John's falling, and the usual life, the usual things that life throws in your way, I haven't got it anywhere near as finished as I was hoping to for the end of January. It's probably going to be realistically end of February, beginning of March, but that's because also I've had this pile of Minervas to get through. Once they've gone, I am not committing to anything like that again. So that'll be gone. So that'll relieve me of all that. And obviously I've got my ready-to-wear items, my poppy pinafores and my olive blouses. I've got another 7 of the olive blouses to make. They're going really well. Thank you again so much. So, and that's keeping me ticking over nicely. And that's all I really need. I don't really need to be taking on too much of extras, which is I've had a little bit of a chat with myself and slow down, Jayne. Stop taking on more than you can physically do. But I think that's just my nature. I've always been like that. I've never been a one to say I can't do that, or there's no way I can get all that done. If I see something that needs doing, I'll go and do it. And if I see a massive mountainous task ahead of me, I'll go in there and do my very best to get through that task. I've always been like that. When I used to go to work, when I was at work as a customs officer, we had some mammoth jobs to do, and I absolutely loved it. We used to work 12-hour shifts, and sometimes those 12-hour shifts went on to 17, 18, 19-hour shifts, depending on what we were doing. And I just loved it. I just loved tackling it. Doesn't matter whether we were rolling around in the dirt or climbing in the backs of lorries or searching aircraft or going into the bowels of ships. I just loved it. And if there was a job needed doing, I'd go, you know, I'd absolutely love it. I think I'm a bit of a GI Jane, to be honest. They used to call me that at work because, yeah, they used to call me Lady Jane or GI Jane. I don't know why they called me Lady Jane, but they used to think I was too posh to be a customs officer. God knows why they thought that. So yeah, I think that's in my nature, all this, you know, I can do it. And then I'll come to a point when I know I can't do it. And this was a little bit of a seeing the light type of thing, thinking, yeah, I think you took on too much on there, Jane. So yeah. But it's all good fun, and I'm smiling, and I am worried sick about John, but I'm just going to keep on going. Just going to keep on going. And I haven't drank my coffee again, excuse me. And thank you, before I go, for all your amazingly supportive, kind and caring comments on my Instagram post when I told you about my gorgeous John. Do you know, you really are the most beautiful people out there, and you really do keep me going. And I've never felt, as I said loads of times, I haven't any friends. I don't have one single friend, but I'm going to be having, when this pandemic's over, I know I'm going to be having a good friend coming soon. Lovely Lynn, who lives literally 3 miles away from me. We've been chatting on Instagram, found each other on Instagram, and she literally does live over that main road and down a bit. And we were going to meet up and feed the ducks. After first lockdown ended, we were going to get together, feed the ducks, have a great old chin wag. We were going to talk the hind leg off a donkey. But then second lockdown came again, so we couldn't. And then third lockdown came again. So as soon as this pandemic's over, I know I'm going to have a friend. She's waiting for me and I'm waiting for her. So that's lovely. And that's making me emotional now because, yeah. So how wonderful is that? How wonderful is this community? And if only all of us could be together, instead of me talking into a camera, if only all of us could be together, just a cup of coffee, what have we been all up to? It would be amazing, wouldn't it? But obviously we can't do that, and obviously we're all across the world. So this is the next best thing. I feel as if I'm just chatting to you all over coffee. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing my YouTube channels. And I don't particularly do it because I'm going to get thousands and thousands of subscribers, although that would be absolutely amazing. I do it because I feel as if I've got a little sewing family. I really seriously do. And I just love turning on that camera, sitting here and just telling you what I've been up to. And I know, and I hope you feel the same. I just love your comments. And yeah, so that's me this week. Quite a bit emotional for me, up and down, but I'm a strong woman, and I'll get through this, and John will be home soon, and hopefully when I'm on my next Cosy vlog, John will be in there reading his paper, and all will be good in the world. So yeah, I'm feeling positive. And yeah, so thank you for joining me today. We all have life, don't we? We all have life that doesn't get in the way. I wouldn't say it gets in the way. It's what life is. That's what life is. It's going to bring you something different every single day, good, bad or ugly. We just don't know, do we? So I'm just embracing every situation, and I'm always trying to think glass half full and just see the positives in all the negatives. One thing before I go, this is another reason. I had my daughter and my son, one of my others, I've got twin boys, my second twin, they were getting married. So my daughter was going to get married this year. My son was going to get married September this year. Pandemic came, so my son and his gorgeous fiance put the wedding back to next year, 2022. But my daughter was just going to go for it. She was just going to say, Mum, she's a little bit like me, Mum, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get married. We're going to get married in late August. Since then, so I had this amazing Pinterest board, you know, the mother outfits, and all these outfits I was going to create because I was going to make both my own wedding outfits. But since then, so we've gone from 2 weddings to having no weddings because my son and his gorgeous fiance obviously put it back a year, and now they're wanting to buy a house. They're having to buy a house because the house they were living in, the landlord was selling it, so they're going to buy that house. So they're going to plough all the money that they were going to spend on their wedding into the house, and they're going to put back the wedding for the foreseeable future, which is quite sensible really, because they're living together now anyway, so, and they can have the wedding further down the line. But I think a house is more important than spending thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on a wedding when I suppose you could go into a house. So that's been well and truly postponed. It's not off, but it's been postponed for the foreseeable future. And my daughter, who was absolutely happily engaged, has now decided that relationship isn't going to work, so they've split up. So I've gone from having 2 weddings in a year to 2 weddings over 2 years to no weddings at all. So my Pinterest board is now defunct for the minute. So that just shows you how things really do change. So yeah, so that's it for today's vlog. Freezing cold coffee again, and I hope I haven't gone on too long, but I do love to chat with you all and just tell you what's going on in my little world. But I've got obviously lots more sewing coming. I'm definitely going to do the sew along for the Oak Ridge blouse. I'm also going to do a sew along for the Raglan blouse by Friday Pattern Company, which I promised I would do. I'll be sharing them soon. So fingers crossed, when I speak to you next, John will be just in there, and I'll have lots more sewing things to chat about. But until the next time, thanks so much for joining me today, and I shall see you on my next vlog. Bye for now.